Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500 with Elliott Wave Theory. Couple of advertisements here at the start. I've finally completed the Elliott Wave and RSI Advanced course, so if you want to master the RSI and want to learn how it can be utilized properly with Elliott Wave Theory, check out the course on Udemy. I've also started Counter Trend Capital with few expert traders that will be paid Discord group. Currently the Discord is free, so you can check it out if you're interested. And lastly, if you want to educate yourself and support me, you can take a look at Patreon, where you can find Elliott Wave Basics course, access to weekly live streams and extra content overall. Thank you for your support. Let's get into the charts next. So on daily time frame, again, the overall idea has been that we had this as some kind of three-way structure coming down into the lows of June 2022. And since then, again, we had a couple of different ideas, either having this as the first of W, then looking for X wave as a possibility completed here, or in the next peaks where we would have it up in here, or this whole thing would be already finished at the previous peak with this three-way structure, and at that point we would have this as five-way structure coming down into the wave A, and then again shift this over, having this as an A, B, and then looking for a pivot downwards, again having this as a C wave. However, this is very much less likely due to how large this wave B here is in comparison higher degree wave X here, because again generally these lower degree wave structures should be smaller than the higher degrees. So again, my bias is still with this one, and with this being the case, we would have to assume that we have a WXY set here, again making it less likely, but again is in my opinion a bit better than having the having this kind of very large wave B in comparison to this here. But yeah, that's that. We of course had another possibility for a triangle here, which is still valid. This, I think KG mentioned this way back. I'm not sure how this is still relevant, but I mean it is still relevant, but it is still contracting on RSI as well, but this would take again a bit more time here. C could be up and complete in here, and we would be looking to create another wave D and then the wave E, creating this very sideways structure, which is very typical for this kind of structure or the triangle to be in. So wave X definitely fits the premises here for sure. Now let's take a closer look on the more local structures in here to see what we've had more recently. So again, this would be the potential three-way structure going up. So we had a few different ideas overall, having this as a WXY or ABC. We had multiple different ways of labeling this, either having it from pivot from here or here. I don't like pivoting it from here, as in the form of wave W being up in these highs, because again this looks more like a five-way structure, and as we have taken out the highs here already, this means that this is not a start of something but an end of something, meaning this is an end of this extended or expanded flat here. So that's that. I do like this idea of having this as a WXY, possibly already completing here. Now as we see, we have hit the 0.618, which is again the minimum we want to see for any three-way structure. So this is already hit here. On RSI, we don't really see too much. We don't see even highs being yet made. However, again, this is very corrective looking. Overall, we have a lot of overlap everywhere. So again, that's why I don't really like it being too impulsive. Of course, we still have that impulsive or possibility of being a low here, which would again be not okay. I have the option here. Let's go back to higher time frame so I can show you that. Training view had changed the positions, but in any case we had this possibility of having this as WXY set, and this is the only way we can have this as wave 1, 2, and then looking for 3, 4, 5, a continuation of this previous larger wave trend. But yeah, let's get back into this smaller degrees. But that is the only way, or basically only wave counts that would support this idea of this being a diagonal here. Again, it is very, very, very ugly, and therefore it's very low on my priorities. It's basically one of the probably the worst count that I'm looking for. But again, just acknowledging that it is there and it's still viable, at least somewhat. Again, a few different options. Again, this was the one where we had ended it here. And I think I can just remove that for now because we don't need to look at that anymore. Now for this next structure, again, if we are looking at this being the impulse, continuation of that contracting diagonal structure, we would have this as a wave 1, 2. I think we have a decent looking fireway structure into these highs. I feel like we have to be using it as such if we want to have this impulsive. We previously had this wave 2 here. We have already had to modify this because again this low here. So if we had this wave 2 in here, we would have to have this as a 1, 2, 3. We were looking for 4, but this wave 4 had overlap with this 1. So this is not something that we can have in wave 3s. So at that point, again, we had to shift wave 2 up in here to make this whole structure being part of this same degree here. So this would be a 1, 2 instead, and then this would be 3, and then looking for 4th. Now this is again very unlikely to me. We almost hit the wave 1 top here with this potential wave 4 low again, but we did not do it as of yet. So at this very moment, it is still possible. However, if we are just looking at the retracement targets here, we can see that we have even gone beyond the golden pocket here, which generally means that, okay, this is nowhere near to be really viable. While it is still possible, it's not very probable at all. I want to make that distinction very clear. This is not a very probable wave count. Although at the moment this does seem like 3 waves, I don't think it is a wave 4. If it is wave 4, then, well, of course we can just launch up higher, getting this 5th wave in, and then that would be 3rd, and then we'd be expecting the wave 4 of this wave degree here later on, and 4 and 5 again. But yeah, again, this is way lower on my priority and probability list than the corrective structure, which is this one. Impulse done, meaning this one, so maybe I'll just rename this to being a WXY, and this would fit into the idea that we had here as the WXY. I don't know why this is labeled ABC2 as well, WXY. So overall, what we would be having here is that 3-way structure into W, 3 waves into wave X, and then this structure being that ABC. This was again originally labeled like this as well, hitting that 1.236 extension at the top here, and we had extensions on this higher degree wave WXY here fit as well into the expanded, or well, the 1.382 to 1.236 extension targets. So again, this is very much a good confluence here, and then we'd be looking for lower prices. So let's take a closer look what we've had in the very recent hours, or well, recent trading days, I guess. So this was again 3rd of February. Starting from there, we had a very ugly structure coming down. Again, I don't want to go too detail into these because again, these can be labeled multiple ways. I think this is decent as 3 waves. This is decent as a 3-way structure, and then we'd be looking for another 3-way structure coming down. 3-way structure like so, we are hitting the 1.618, which is again starting to make it more probable towards the more impulsive side. However, I don't really think I can get this into being very good looking diagonal. Of course, there's a chance that we would have this as first, or wave 1, 2. This would be a structure like this, but I don't know, it just does not really seem too good. Then we would have this as the wave 2 of higher degree. Is that possible? Well, of course it is possible, but at this moment I don't really like that yet, as we have not hit the 1.618 here overall on higher degree. So overall we would have this as a WXY like so. I do like this being a 5-way structure, however, some kind of 5-way. We do have that divergence at the very end, and then 3-way structure for wave B. Some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a chance that this ended here at the lows. We have again Fibonacci confluence 1.618 of this smaller degree here, and the 1.236. We have yet another channel here that I drew previously, where we had again pivoted from W to wave Y and then X, and now we have again broken through that, and we're back testing it multiple times here. And we again, let's actually fix that. It does not seem like it is. proper spots. So let's do that again. Here we go. So now you can see the backtesting a bit better. So we've hit it quite a few times, which is quite surprising to me how many times it has hit it already. So I don't think this has much more power behind it anymore. So if we are again starting to do something like this, I would almost expect it to go through, and then we would be getting up a bit higher again. If we want to be creating that more bearish count from the highs, then we would have to do it something like this, where this would be a wave 1, 2 of higher degree, then this would be another 1, 2, and then this would be again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into third wave. Fourth wave should and basically has to be done very soon, because otherwise we are risking it again going back to this previous wave 1, which would invalidate this whole idea, unless we have this wave 3 at these lows here instead. So we would have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is not the best look. However, if we want to have it like that, then we would need it to be as such. Also, I don't think we can anymore manage it as a diagonal, because again, these structures here I think fits better as 3 waves. And if this indeed is turned into a 5-wave structure, we have to accept that this is a separate structure from this first one. So we can't have this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as some kind of diagonal overall. So again, I was only thinking that because again, the extension targets that we would be having here. So if we are looking at this as the 1.618, we would be expecting it coming back here. This again, as mentioned before, the extension targets are already hit at the 1.618 here on smaller time frame. So wave 4 and 5 would be something like this for this more impulsive or more bearish count. Again, we don't want the wave 4 here to get any lower, or sorry, any higher than this one, because again, it is risking to getting back to that previous wave 1 territory. If it does, then I feel like we need to be going with a more corrective structure, which was that WXY variant, which was this one, and then we'd be either creating some kind of consolidation back up, and then we'd most likely have this again. Maybe it would be part of something a bit larger. Again, this would be pivoting a higher degree structure coming down. So as long as we still keep these, there is a chance that we would be creating some kind of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, creating some kind of diagonal on higher time frame downwards. But again, this is way too early to be even calling that, but just wanted to make sure that you understand that there is still a possibility of this turning into more impulsive, even if we are consolidating up here and taking out these previous areas of invalidations for at least the impulsive wave count to the downside. But again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments on the video. And if you would like to learn more, there's lots of links in the description below. So check those out, and thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.